Got it going.
Dope. Yeah. Hell yeah. We got
Uh,
episode 40 something with this dad Scoots. So let's give it up for him for show in the comments.
let's
This is
go. Of
Thank
one
you for
I'm
having me, for real.
yeah.
I appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah. This
course.
is one I'm pretty stoked on just because I feel like it'll be a unique one, Be like
Yeah.
pretty cool to get into it. So I'm
Well,
pretty
yeah, I mean,
excited.
you asked me a minute ago, and I've been kind of been putting it off, and I got injured, and I really, wanted to give it some serious thought. If I'm going to do this, I got to really be conscious of what I say, and I want to like have a positive outlook on the sport and feel like I could actually ride at my previous capability. And
Right.
after like a previous sesh, I feel like I can do that. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
So
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. We usually start these off with just a quick intro. So kind of your name, where you're from, how long you've been riding, and go from there.
right on. Well, the whole like purpose of this dad scoots is kind of more like a concept, right? Rather than like me personally. And it's
Right.
more of like a dad that like literally started riding a scooter for his kid and like learned the sport and like fell in love with the sport because he started riding with his kids. So out
Right.
of all respect, out of like, it's never been about me really,
Hmm.
although the videos are. It's more so about like the concept. Like I'd love to see more dads out there kicking it with their kids and like
Right.
get, actually the parents like putting their phones to the side or, just actually participate. So at all
Right.
respect out of that, my first name is this dad and the last name is Scoots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Because it's not really about me so much as it is like the concept, and I'm it's kind of cool that the concept kind of hopefully is catching on. So
Right. I've seen a few spurt up.
yeah.
Seen a few.
right
Yeah.
on. Well,
It's
that's
That's
always
good.
dope.
That's
cool.
good. It is cool, and like I started riding a little bit at the skate park, and then I saw a couple more dads doing it, and then I got more like connected with a lot of the dads on Instagram, and I kind
Right.
of developed a community of like dads that ride, and I'd love
Yeah.
to see more. I really would.
Do y'all
I
have
really would.
a group chat going? Like a dad scooter group?
We should. I should
Definitely.
probably jump on that. I think, there's this one guy in France that wanted to like, try to get a whole bunch of things going. Um, I
Yep.
feel bad for him. It never really kicked off. So maybe, maybe I should take the initiative and
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah,
Right? You
yeah.
never
Take
know.
the
Yeah.
reins. You never know, man.
This stuff takes
That's
time.
why we
Yeah.
It
started
does
doing
take time.
this. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck it, whatever
Right?
happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that's
But no,
Definitely
pretty,
need that group chat.
I
yeah.
think it'd be worth it.
Definitely need
Yeah.
that.
Just like I get hyped if I get a clip and I don't maybe want to post it on Instagram or it's like a street clip and I love just sending it to my homies group chat, because then you
Yeah.
could like get the
Fair.
reaction and like at least showcase it a little bit. Like
Mhm.
just keeps,
Right?
keeps the tight knit community like hyped on, what you're doing and maybe even motivates them to get out and get a dope clip themselves or something. So
Certainly.
Exactly. Everyone
Well,
learning and progressing.
yeah,
right.
we're in this together,
Exactly.
even though
Yeah.
we may shit talk a little bit here and there. We're all, we should be at least ganging up, doing the best that we can. Um,
Yeah, certainly watching other guys ride and seeing what other older guys can do it has influenced, me and what certain things that I've done and things that's pushed me to get outside of like my comfort zone
yeah,
and, box of, I'm okay with doing board slides for, 3 months straight. It's
yeah,
like, all
Yeah.
right,
yeah,
let's get past the board slide. Let's see what else you can do, right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
Because when I first started, like the board slide was like the first thing I learned, like just a backside
Hmm.
board slide, right? And I was like, all right, I'm hooked. So let's master this instead of like really trying to progress with other facets. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, dude, it's cool just to see other guys. There's like I want to say probably five. There's like five that are 40 plus that ride tops. in
Damn.
the whole world that I'm connected with, and I'd love to connect with more. But yeah, there's majority of the dads that ride, I would say, are definitely either ones that were riding, 10 plus years ago and then had kids, right? And so it's
Yeah.
like they're a different angle of a scooter dad, right? Because they're more like, I'm a dad that's done this and I'm going to show my kid how to do it. Whereas like I started learning with my kids. So I'm like a different facet of a dad rider. But
Yeah.
so I kind of hate like the scooter dad name. I kind of more align myself with a dad that rides with my kid, right? Because I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
the scooter, because I kind of feel like when people say you're a scooter dad, it's kind of like a stigma, like it's a joke. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, oh, there's a scooter there. There's a dad that's trying to ride. Oh, look, he just tore his ACL. Oh, he just broke his collarbone. And the funny thing is, I've torn my PCL. I've torn my collarbone. I've fractured my wrist. I've had all these injuries, but I got over it. And I was like, I just want to learn how to get better at something I fell in love with.
That's awesome, man.
Exactly.
That's
Right?
awesome.
Yeah.
I've thought often to myself, I'm like, man, I don't know if like I'm 25 right now. So it's like, I don't know if I were to pick up a scooter if I had never scootered before, I feel like that would be almost one of the last things I would gravitate to if I had no
Sure.
outside knowledge. Like luckily my
Yeah.
homies like got me into it and I had like these group of friends and like I'm glad that I did, but I feel like yeah, it's just crazy. It makes sense because your kid got into it. And so you're like,
Right.
oh, like seeing it and, going with them, dropping them off at least, it's like you probably eventually were like, dang, let me like hop on that, seeing what was good with it
Absolutely.
and just
Yeah.
grew from there. So that's super cool and organic, because I feel like there's not many people that as an older person would just like kind of organically get into scootering, you know? So I always
That's
thought that that
totally
was cool.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. And you're right. I mean, there really isn't too many. And I'd say the first scooter, I don't know if I was ever going to talk about this. Like the first scooter I ever got on, I was, I don't know, 8. So this is if it was 8, that makes it, or 7 or 8, that makes it 1990. Okay, I was born in '83. Was like one of those big chunky like metal frame, steel
Yeah.
chromoly
Big
frame
wheels.
ones, big wheels, and
Yeah.
you could bunny hop, dirt jump, and whatnot. But they're not the scooters that you have today, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
um,
it's crazy.
it is crazy. But like I I've always loved skateboarding. I've always had a great respect for that. Um, I didn't have I didn't think I had the coordination and the time and the commitment that was required to get to the level I wanted to get to as quick as I wanted to get to. And my son kind of felt the same. So he got on the scooter and he started getting better quicker on the scooter. I'm like, well, I saw a bunch of other dudes like riding. I was like, you said, the parent that was watching, I was like, I want to try it. I want to
Yeah.
try it. And then I saw these guys like do before, at the time I didn't know, but they were like doing 50s. And I thought those looked so cool. And they were doing like these, whip twos and, whip offs. And I was just like, that just looks so dope. I just really want to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's sweet, dude. Yeah.
I
Right.
love at first sight.
Yeah.
It kind of was. It really was. I never saw that level of it. And once I took my kid to the skate park to try it, to just to check it out, he fell in love with that. I saw these kids doing it. I'm like, that's cool. I want to try that. So finally, during COVID hit, and I bought a scooter because I had this extra time, and yeah, my first scooter was let's see, old school district that I got off Amazon. Or no, sorry. My first scooter I bought was just an Amazon fail. That thing broke like really quick. And the bars snapped within like a week. And then I got a district and then kind of went on from there. But yeah. Anyways, sorry I went off on that tangent.
You're good, man.
You're
That's
good.
what we're here for, bro. That kind of yeah got into what I wanted to ask, kind of like when y'all started riding and what your first scooter was. So like that about sums it up. Like a district, Amazon scooter before that. About
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
started about like the beginning of COVID, like
So
both
my
scootering.
kid, So my kid was born in 2013. He had his first scooter, then like by the time he was like 5, and then I want to say, so 2020 would have made him like 7. So yeah, we kind of started to progress with like exploring better brands that would be more accustomed to the
Yeah.
things we wanted to do in
Yeah.
2020. So 2020 is when I'd say we actually started like trying to ride and executing tricks other than bunny hops. Is that
Yeah.
fair?
Right.
Yeah.
Getting serious. Yeah.
Getting started.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
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 And that was the year.
Oh.
And then, I've had so many injuries since 2020, since I started. I mean, I've really, even to this date, I probably only had a year and a half of scootering riding in me right now, just because of all the stuff I've been through. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then my son's injured now. We were at a St. Louis street jam. He was just kind of going up a bank and slid out and put his leg down. And instead of like your ankle kind of rolling, your knee bending, his tibia, so that's the main big bone on your shin, right? It just snapped and it held on by like you kind of see like tree branch bark that's fresh,
Mhm.
a branch that doesn't want to snap off all the way. And so it hung on kind of like, I don't even know if you can see my hands, but yeah, it was weird. It was crazy. So yeah, he's still healing up from that, but that was back in October. So he hasn't ridden since then.
Damn.
That's a
Yep.
rough
Yeah,
one.
that was crazy. I know you were in the hospital for a long time. Like, how many
Yeah, I
hours?
was. I was in the hospital for, let's see, it was like 16 to 18 hours, I believe.
Great.
So
That's crazy.
I never actually made it to the official St. Louis street jam. I made it to the pre-jam, but so one day I'll make it to the actual street jam. I
Yeah.
promise, guys. I promise.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Because I wanted to go watch. I mean, I feel like I'm too old to try to participate in most of the stuff they want to try to pull off. But if there was certain things I thought I could, spots I could do, I'd certainly throw down. That's no joke,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
try to do
crazy.
something I don't know,
Yeah.
just me.
Still got to ride a little bit at least. So you get that parking lot sesh.
I did, and the funny thing behind the scenes, I got called on by the security and they were on me in a minute. And I was like, I only had like 2 minutes to record, but I was like, yeah, my son's, we're still waiting to get a room and his mom's in there sleeping with him in the ER. We're just, they're like, you got to stop riding. I'm like, all right.
Haters
Cool.
everywhere, man.
Yeah, man.
Everywhere.
Stopping the
Everywhere.
grind.
Yeah.
I was like,
Just trying
but
to
the
clear
funny
his
thing was,
mind.
yeah, I was like, sorry, but I was like, so you saw me on video. I was like, did you like what you saw? Yeah.
What was the review?
He didn't really like my response. Like he didn't really give me a weird look. He's like, you gotta put it up. But it was worth a ask. It was at
Yeah.
Children's Hospital in downtown St. Louis. They're a great hospital. Best exceeded my expectations. So if anybody ever needs to go there, they'll take care of you. I hope you don't, but if they do,
Yeah.
go there.
If you're going to the St. Louis Street Jam, you're good, baby.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
good,
agree.
baby. They'll take care of you. 18 or younger, go there. Or no, I
18
guess
or
maybe
younger.
17. Yeah, 17 in your 364th day, go there.
Yeah.
Anything else, go to the adult ER.
Are they
But
pretty good too, or what?
I've never
I feel
actually
like
had to
you
go to
would
that
know.
ER,
Oh, no.
luckily.
No.
But I had like a special room at the urgent care next to my house for a minute. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. That's crazy. So let's see. You did about 2020 to 2024. So about half your time has just been injured then, huh? About like a
Essentially.
year and a half and
Yeah,
a year and a half. That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
it's crazy.
Well,
It's so
like
unfortunate.
yeah, it does suck. I think when like, things are like really starting to pop off, is right when I tore my PCL. And that would have been that was September of 2022. I would say when I felt like my riding was like, I felt really comfortable and good about it, and like I'd hit anything. And yeah, I and so people are like, so how'd you tear your PCL? So I went up on this, I would say it's like a 2 foot, maybe 3 foot high flat rail. You have to jump up onto, and I was doing a precision ride, and I want to do a precision whip off of that because I kind of already mastered it off the baby rail and the mini zone. And I pulled off like a fraction too late, and so my momentum sent me forward and down. And I was like, oh, I'll just jump off and land on my knees. And I landed up my right knee took the brunt of the force, and I ripped my PCL right off of my femur. Like, and so people are like, what the hell is a PCL? I've never heard of that. That's fair. No, I didn't either before this. So your PCL intersects your ACL, and I ripped the PCL.
Yeah, that's fucked.
It was. It was. And I think you guys maybe had Donald Scapoletto on this show before. He was actually at my home, or my local, and yeah, I tore it that day. I was riding with him. Yep. Yep.
That's crazy.
It was.
Precisions are hard though. That's a tough trick.
They are, and I like them because they're tough. I kind of like to do things that I don't think most dads my age would try.
Okay.
And that's kind of what gives me like an extra bit of adrenaline rush, because I'm like overcoming I think it's like a fear of like I'm 40 now, right? So it's like, what can I still do, right? What can I push my body to do that I don't even see younger kids doing? And so if I can do some things that I don't even see kids popping off on the regular, that kind of gives me like an extra, like, you can do this shit, right?
Yeah.
Setting the bar high for the scooter dads.
I don't know. Maybe setting the bar higher for myself, really, and then maybe the scooter dads. Yeah, I'd like to see some scooter dads trying some more, but those, besides, except for the ones that, like I said, grew up in the sport, have ridden for quite some time, are well known and had kids. There's a lot of those, and many know about them. I don't know all their names, and I can't list them off the top of my head, but I'm talking about the ones that are more like, that's haven't been riding for very long.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, if I can inspire those guys, and then maybe even inspire those guys that do have some tenure in the sport, that's cool too.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely cool. It's like, I don't know, like you look at Tony Hawk, or you look at I feel like Dave Mirra, is he dead? I don't know. I feel like he was like still shredding it. As Matt Hoffman that died. Yeah, like there's still like some old bikers, some old skaters that like they have always been setting the bar, but there's never really been like a scooter rider like that. Like I've always known my homie Matt Ogle. He's like, I don't think he's touched 40 yet, but he's probably like higher 30s, and he's like in the same boat. He's OG. He's been scootering way before he had a kid, but he's always been someone I've looked up to, and like, oh man, like if he's still sending it and filming videos at, like 35, let's say, that's like, dude, I still got a good 12 years, like 10 years now. So it's like,
still got time to
cool.
send.
Every time he has a birthday, I'm like, hell yeah, like another year I can push. That's how we see it as, so
and
it's super cool.
You kind of be I can tell you on the side, I don't need to say it on this podcast to try to like, sound cool, but there's been a lot of what I consider kind of legends in the sport, excuse me, that have reached out to me and kind of said the same thing. Like, dude, I thought I was cooked at like 25, but I can keep going.
Yeah.
Like, like I thought I was an old junkie at the park, like trying, seeing all these scooter kids ride around. It's like, dude, I feel the same way. But like, but I'm still doing it because I love it, right? So it's like, I don't feel like that part's gonna go away, because like the older you get, the younger those kids look, right? So it's just kind of, it's funny. Like my niece, she's about to graduate, and I go to a college campus, and sometimes I do for stuff I do for work, and college student, they just look so young to me now. It's like,
Mm.
dude, you're getting so old.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like my friends, you know, they have kids, some of them that are in college, that have graduated college. It's like, so, but yeah, but like I can relate to kids those age, and you know, I kind of look at stats a lot in my job, and I look at my profile stats, and the majority of like, I'd say my followers are between like the age group of like 18 to 24, 25. And I think that's, you know, I think we should get to this later, but I think that's where, you know, the industry is missing out on the boat of like, they're only targeting like and really pushing trying to find the next 12 or 13-year-old rider, right? And we
Mhm.
want to try to find the next kid we want to sponsor to like represent our product. Cool. Do you think a guy that's like 40 is going to go and try to buy the scooter that a 13-year-old's riding? No, because
Nah.
he's probably like, you know, for the most part, like not built like I am, and just like that for the most part, like I'm not going to go chase, you know, that type of product, but I'm going to,
Mhm.
you know, what is the industry doing to like try to captivate, you know, this market segment and beyond? And the answer is, I don't think they're doing much. And the answer for beyond is, I don't think they're doing anything. And that's kind of sad. So I hope that can change, right?
Mhm.
But
100%.
it, so, but anyway, yeah,
It's a valid
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I feel like even that's something that I remember I was in like Havasu for something a few years back, and I was talking to like White Trash Willie, and he was like one of the only people at that time that was doing like a scooter podcast. So I was kind of like talking to him
Right.
about it. And
Mhm.
he was kind of like encouraging me to kind of like step into the like not as PG rated as their podcast was. You know, he's like, man, like it'd be super cool to have one where it's just kind of like raw and like people can do and say whatever, and like it, you know, maybe doesn't get edited out, and it's just like
Sure.
more behind the scenes. And that's kind of something that I've thought was like, there's not even really any scooter podcasts going on. So I thought that was like something that needed to be done. But like, I definitely feel you on the fact that nobody in scootering brand wise is really trying to get those older guys. You know, they're all
Right.
just trying to
Yeah.
like do their thing and stay afloat. But it's like, you probably could do a lot more if you tried something new instead of the thing that you've been doing, you know?
Certainly. And I, you know, I like, you know, that certain distributors are targeting different demographics in the sport. I think that's excellent, and that should certainly help expand. I think that's awesome. Like, but as far as like age groups, because you know, demographic age groups is part of demographics. There's like there's some lacking, right? So, and it's funny you mentioned white trash. Really, I didn't want to name drop, but he was one of the dudes that said, "Hey, I think it's, you know, I kind of thought like my riding days are almost over. I'm in my mid 20s, and you know, seeing you ride kind of gives me hope." So
Yeah.
he's a cool dude from my correspondence I've had with him on IG, and I I like appreciate his art. I put it on some of my decks, and that's the only way I, you know, could truly support him was because that dude's got a really creative mind. The stuff on his page is mind
Mhm.
blowing, and he I'm happy for him and what he can do with like the undialed aspect. And I can't remember the name of it, but what he was kind of trying to do with doing like some sort of scooter tour or whatnot. I don't know, like it's kind of weird, or like kind of local street
Yeah.
jam stuff. Did
Yeah.
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
off? Do you guys know, or did what happened with that?
They did it
Um,
once, and that was really it,
yeah.
honestly.
I think it was
Um,
like
Fair,
2023 or 22.
it
right
was the
on.
ninth annual, so yeah, 2022. It looked pretty sick. I mean,
Yeah. I
like
It
mean,
did.
Paxton has a dope trophy from that event. Um, but yeah, there was honestly, this is the perfect time to say it. Clayton and Will, if you hear this, the homie that won the pogo stick giveaway still hasn't got his pogo. He's very adamant on getting this pogo one day. So ex pogo Tone, fucking Clayton Lindley, Will, if you hear this, get in tap with me. I'll get you tapped in with my boy.
He needs the
And
Don't mess
pogo.
around
let's
with a
get him
dude
that
in his
pogo stick,
pogo.
man. Come on.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing y'all were putting on for.
Yeah, don't
Never
hold
even
out. I
showed
mean,
up. So
it
let
was
that be on
either
the
ride a
record.
scooter or like, or do a pogo stick. And I chose ride
Yeah.
a scooter, but
Yeah.
They did
people need a pogo stick on the side because,
Pogo's close
it's
Nah,
either,
second,
he was
man.
raw at
yeah.
scootering, this guy too. Like he doesn't ride much anymore, but they like did like a halftime or some shit at the Undialed event, and they just had like a pogo stick expedition. It was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched a thing on ESPN something. It was like one of the ESPN sub channels, and there was a pogo championship, and I got hooked for a minute. I was like, dude, people can find creativity in so many things that you don't even think of. And I never thought of like, competitive pogo sticking, but
Yeah.
it's a thing. It's a thing, dude.
It's,
It's
it's
It's a
crazy,
sick
thing.
yeah.
too. It's
It
so
is
sick.
Yeah.
sick. I was like, dudes throwing backflips and McTwists and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
It's
Dry flips, like
yeah,
Supermans.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Bri flips for sure. I was like, and I barely even know what a bri flip is when I see it, but I knew this guy was doing bri flip or
yeah.
buttercup
Some
something,
crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And no
for real.
offense, park riders, but I don't. There's just so much going on. It just to me it looks like just like a bunch of helicopter tricks that I can't do, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just I think I'm past the age of doing bris, but I can maybe give it a try one day if I found the right whip on the right, like, I guess fly out or something. I maybe give it a go, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'd
No
knock
need.
myself out. I'd be
No
like
need,
out
bro.
and done. Yeah, no need. But like, look at that dumbass. Yup.
Hey man, if the hater ever says don't do it, then maybe think about it,
Yeah.
But
That's when you
until
consider.
then,
Right.
just do what you want to do for sure.
Yeah.
Fair. Speaking of what I want to do, I still have not landed a backflip to pavement, and I really want to, but I feel like it's like I don't know if my body could handle it if I didn't land it. And there's so much that could go wrong, but there's so much good that could go right. But
Yeah.
it's a lot going on. It's a lot.
It's
I thought
it's for
are
me when
backflips overrated or is it just me?
I mean, man, I vividly remember like when I used to even for backflip and my flare, like I was definitely petrified to send it. You got it dialed in the foam.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the resi, I learned them at Woodward West. So it's like I did them in the foam, and then I remember having to like get myself ready to backflip to the resi. And I think most people are gonna let go or not fully commit to their one to
Right.
resi, and you're gonna pay the price because of that. And some people will get deterred from doing them because of that. But in my opinion now, and what I've told my campers at Woodward is like they're more scary than they are hard. If you treat it the same way as the foam pit and you hold on and go with confidence and commit, like you will land it first try, to be honest. It's not that hard of a trick. It's just one where you're like, your
It's just a
radar
mind
starts
fuck,
going off,
right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this could happen, that could happen. I'm gonna be upside down. It's like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
there's so many variables, but if you're cool and confident, you go for it, bro. I know you got that. It'd be
I
sick.
appreciate that.
I feel like
It's just the one thing
especially,
I want to do it for like all the 40 plus dads that ride.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna
So
say, like, if no dad's done it or something like that, that would be pretty cool. And I know you've done it. You try it to concrete once and you fell?
so I tried it to concrete once, and I did a video, a reel about it, and it was like my most viral video. And
Oh
for
no.
some reason, I was
I
like,
remember it.
dude, I don't want to be known for this video, bro. And so, before I knew Instagram better, I deleted it, and it just totally messed up my account for like a while. My account still hasn't is just now starting to revive from that delete. Um, but it made my account like stuck for a long minute with like exposure and real activity and stuff. Just because like I guess IG's algo is like, F this dude, he just deleted a thing that we were getting our organic growth, or excuse me,
Mhm.
organic growth from. and I deleted a couple other things. But yeah, note for anybody that just like is just trying to have their account just have some sort of organic natural growth. Don't delete, just archive. Archive is your best friend. Archive doesn't do anything to your account like negatively. It just shuts exposure off and people can't see it anymore, right? So, and just kind of throws it into like IG's, cloud of data. But you can retrieve it if you want. But yeah, never delete. That's super bad for an account. Super bad. But yeah, so that I did try it once, and I quit my rotation, and I just I don't know what the hell. I got scared. I stopped my rotation. I looked at my scooter and it flew up like 30, 35 feet, came down, and I destroyed an ice shack fork. I destroyed my bars, and I completely bent a tilt, like what do they call them? Derailleur wheels or whatever. They're 3-spoke wheels.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
there is like it's in my garage. I could go get it. I mean, there's just a complete like flat spot on it from like the fall. It's weird.
That's
but
crazy.
yeah, I thought I was ready. It was super windy, and I wasn't. So I think I should have waited until I was 100% ready. And I'm in a kind of like a so like my previous competitive sport was golf. So I would play like growing up, like I played a ton of golf. I played a ton of
Hell
competitive ice
yeah.
hockey, ton of competitive
Mhm.
soccer. A lot of like stuff that required some like focus, and certain situation had to be perfect. And I feel like for me, we're like the first executed backflip to pavement. I feel like the conditions should have been better, and they weren't. And I just I mentally gave up, and I learned my lesson. Don't ever do that again. When you do it, like you said, man, you worked Woodward. Everybody that taught me at Woodward when I learned it, Woodward Park City is like you got to fully commit. And yeah, I fully committed there. I didn't fully commit when I tried to send it back home. So, yep,
You
yep,
got
yep.
you got a good one at the resi though. I would count that one basically.
I appreciate it. I got some heat. People were like, why'd you put your foot down? It's like, well, I landed it. There's a huge, honestly, I did land it, and I put my foot down. There's a huge bubble there, and I never could like get past that bubble. And I, I don't know, like when you did the backflip and you landed on the flat part of the resi, there was just like this
Mhm.
bubble that just kind of kept like popping me left and right, and um, but I kind of got I the one I posted was the one that I finally like did the rotation, landed, put the foot down. I mean, who cares if you roll down and whatnot? I mean, in my opinion, I did the backflip, I rolled forward, I put my foot down. So did I land it? Yes. Did I actually roll off like everybody would have maybe liked? No, but I don't really care. I don't. Um, I also threw a double backflip to foam. That was extremely exhilarating. And one time when I failed there, I let go of the scooter, and I thought the damn thing almost got stuck in the rafters up there. And you know how high that ceiling is up there. Have you guys been there?
No, I've never
Went to
been
Park
there.
Woodward
City.
Park City? All right,
Mm.
so the ceiling for the section there, I mean, it's probably at least 75 feet high. And
Mhm.
it took about 4 seconds for the damn thing to come down.
Just launched it. That's crazy.
Launched it. But you gotta do when you do it, throw a double. I mean, you really gotta tuck, and there's a lot of force there, and you really gotta hold on, or like you're gonna lose the scoot.
It's the worst, honestly.
It
One
is.
time, one time I was trying to backflip on a trampoline scooter, and it was just like a razor that was like duct taped like on the deck, and we had like a tennis ball on the fork. But like
Right.
I tried to
Classic.
backflip and I just bounced, and that scooter went super high in the air, just came down on my elbow. And I remember my elbow was just dusted after that for like weeks. It
Sure.
was crazy. Gotta watch out. After that, I was probably like 13 or 14. And ever since then, I was like, dude, I am like every time I went to the foam pit, I was just scared of shit like that, I'm like, dude,
Well, the foam pit,
I don't want it to come back down on me.
you don't like, so when you don't know where it's at, like you want to look up to kind of see, but then like the last minute, I'm just kind of like this the whole time. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't need to lose an eye looking for this damn thing. So,
Yeah. I feel like on the concrete or something, I just try and run or roll or whatever I can do,
right,
you know. But like in the foam pit, I just feel so trapped. I'm like,
sure.
if it comes down on me, that I can't
Just
do anything
enclosed
about
in
it.
foam. Yeah.
So getting out of the foam pit, bro, that is
Such
the
a bitch.
worst. I'm sorry to just bring that up,
It
but it is
is,
the
it is.
fucking
And it
worst.
like no one talks about like, like they're just dirty. They're
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Oh
dirty,
yeah.
and all
they're
that
so
stuff sticks
filthy.
to you
Cesspool.
and
Yeah.
goes like down your shirt and sticks to
Nah.
everything. And
It's like going to the
yeah,
beach, bro. You're just all like feel sandy
right.
after that shit.
Yeah.
It's
It's
nasty.
disgusting.
I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
go
no
take a
doubt,
Airbags.
shower.
Airbags
Yeah.
should take
Airbag.
over.
Wave. Those
Yeah.
things are
no
sick.
doubt. But yeah, when we're Park City, it's cool. I just I don't know. Hopefully they flatten out that session. It's just a weird bubble for the fly out or once you have the landing there. But they don't
Hmm.
have like a, I don't know. I like it. No hate on them. They get a lot of use, a lot of abuse,
Yeah.
so but yeah, and then the outdoor section there, that's really freaking sweet too. If anybody has a chance to ever hit up their outdoor section, there's a lot of stuff that's um, just right outside the main lobby there. You gotta, have paid. You can't just show up and ride. You gotta pay the day fee. But if you take it, if it's the weather's nice and it's snow's melted, yeah, definitely hit up the outdoor section too. There's some good shit there. Some awesome ledges, some great rails and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
They're other, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yup,
Definitely sounds like fun.
dude, it's cool. It really is. I love it.
Only Woodward I've ever been to is Woodward East in Pennsylvania.
How's that?
It's fun. It's really big. I went like before they did all like the renovations and whatnot to all the parks, so a lot of it's changed since then.
Is that the one with all the cabins?
I believe so.
Okay, that one looks amazing.
It's the go.
Like it really does. And then what's the one where kids are always going, I feel like diagonally and trying to do these crazy like resi tricks, and if they end up falling, they end up falling and landing and sliding into like a wall. Do you guys know which Woodward that is?
That's east. West has a
Okay,
quarter pipe.
right on. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that one kind of looks sketchy as well, but it's all good. Just sign the waiver.
Yeah.
Woodward is safe.
Yeah.
You'll be taken
No,
care
it's
of.
not bad. I've
You'll be
slammed into
taken
that
care of.
wall.
Yeah.
No, but everybody at Woodward, they're just really cool, down to earth. The staff there is amazing. I feel like that'd be a dream job. I really do. That'd be definitely like a bucket list job if I could go back, right, and maybe redo some of the things I've done in my life. Why not try to work at a Woodward? That'd just be badass. And like some facet of it,
You
right?
get
I mean,
high up.
whatever it is.
You need to get high up. That shit's paying low.
Yeah, I mean, I would figure. I mean, because essentially, I mean, yeah, you're doing something badass for teaching kids these camps, but at the end of the day, you're a camp counselor, right?
Yeah.
And so just go Google what an average pay is for a camp counselor and yeah,
Oh, yeah.
do the math.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got to get
So,
in the corporate office or something. I
The
thought about it.
CEO.
I was like,
right.
bro, I got to quit working here every summer. I can't even save any money to do shit after this. I'm going back to my parents' house after the summer.
So which one did you work at?
I worked at Copper, East and
Okay,
West.
right on. My
Yeah.
son's been to the Copper one. He said it's really badass. I don't know if it was East or Copper West, but he went to Copper Woodward
Yeah.
something, right?
Skate park's kind of
So,
mid, but
and
it's like the
people, so I don't know, no, I don't know everything he does in his life, but I
you're
know
right,
most.
right.
But sorry, what did you say?
I was just saying the skate park there is kind of small, and they
Okay,
only have one. It's like mainly a snowboard and ski mountain, like, but it's
okay,
awesome. Like if you like
Hmm.
to shred like the
bet.
slopes, Copper is the wave. I had a lot of fun there. I didn't even get to ride the whole mountain. I was there like 5 or 6 months, however long the season is.
So speaking of
Nope.
snow, you know, I could say what I've done on a snow, you know, on the snow. I've done a lot. I think snow's incredibly fun. My siblings actually, they live in Park City, Utah, so they take advantage of mountain activities year round. But have either one of you guys snow scooted? Because I haven't, and I just kind of curious.
No,
No,
have not.
Everyone says it's kind of weird.
Yeah, everyone
bet.
says it's really hard to balance.
I would think so.
It looks
And I
so
would think
fun though.
it does look fun, but I think like throwing, you know, whips and trying to do tricks when you got a whole bunch of like, you know, mountain like coats on and layers and stuff, it kind of get a little sticky. But yeah, it looks fun.
Depends on the day, you know. There's sometimes on the mountain I was just in like a long sleeve t-shirt, like no gloves, no goggles or nothing, you know.
Fair, fair. Yeah, you got to go on those days then.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like being super like snowy and windy and like cold would be tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Be tough.
like
But who
bundled up.
knows, you know, like those
Can't
powder
even
days are
move.
worth it.
right.
Powder days are worth it. I bet on some
So
crazy snow days, the snow scooter, like, I don't know if like you've skied or snowboarded, but like when it's really powdering, you're like basically floating. Like, I bet that would
yeah,
be
so
crazy on the snow scooter.
it
Just like
would,
handlebars popping up. Just
right.
hold. It'd be
That would be
sick.
so fun.
So I've never like rode like a nice snowboard setup. I've done, you know, a little stuff here and there, but I've mostly skied and I've
Nice.
got various types of skis for different, you know, snow conditions. But
Yeah.
I love like, you know, I've always respected the park side of skiing. Have I ever skied like park style? No, but I think it's cool. I've gone on the park and I've done some stuff on my skis and hit some rails, but I mean, is it worthy of videoing and being like, yeah, this dad, you know,
His dad
skis?
That's
skis.
No, not at
Yes.
all.
multidisciplinary.
But I think, but it, I mean, it, if I ground, have I
Ambidextrous.
like, yeah, but I've thrown like, you know, I guess, I don't know, what, when you just like jump off your skis and you do like what is equivalent to kind of like a board slide on a rail at Woodward. Did I do that? Yeah. I mean, it was cool for sure, but yeah, never like anything that I would think cool and worth posting
No,
and
no
right.
1080s.
Yeah.
No 1080s. That was those are a few years ago, but no, I'm just kidding.
Before the
No,
camera.
no 1080s. No 1080s. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are curious. I think I am as well. There's a lot of dads out there. Why'd you want to talk to me? You know, a lot of or dads that ride. I think
To
there's
be
gonna be
honest,
some haters that are like, why the fuck did you ask this dude?
man, to be honest, I don't know any other ones besides my homie Matt and like maybe some that have like the 10-year that you were speaking on, but I
Right on.
I currently have been trying to stay off of my scooter Instagram. I feel like my riding is just more fun without like kind of seeing what everyone's doing and like taking that subconscious note and influence. I've been really
Sure.
enjoying just kind of like steering clear and posting some stuff here and there. Just, you know, looking here and there, but I used to be on there all the
Right.
time every day. So it's like
Hmm.
taking that like big difference break as I felt it helped my riding, and in some ways it's probably like handicapping me because I'm missing something like really legendary, or you know, like some new kid on the scene, or you know, some dad killing it. But to be honest, yeah, I
I think
just
you
couldn't
just
name
missed like a
another one,
bunch of
bro.
I think you just missed a bunch of segments with about 10 seconds of too much concrete before they got to the clip and maybe 30 seconds of
Yeah,
rewind before
yeah,
they got to the
Yeah.
yeah,
trick.
yeah,
Yeah. Too much
exactly.
slow-mo.
Jeez, no, I don't even follow
uh,
them.
no, I'm just kidding. But you know, you're right. It's like I feel like I have a short attention span, and I try to be
Same.
cognizant of that when I make things. Um,
It's
but
important because we all do, unfortunately. If you don't
right,
hook them quick, my Instagram's where I got a banger at the front, man. That one's doing
right,
numbers. The one where it's
Hmm.
like artsy or chilling or whatever, people aren't gonna watch
Right.
that. Because when I see that shit, unfortunately, like I'm like,
You got like
like
at max 7 seconds, right? And to hook somebody, you got less than
max.
3. And to hook
Yeah, I
somebody,
was
you got
gonna say
less than
5.
3. And if they're not
I'm gonna give you a
excited,
quick second, but that's
yeah,
it.
if their eyes aren't like, oh, I'm kind of excited about what I'm about to see, and like literally about, I'd say a second and a half, like you're done. You're done for like to get something to pop off. And same applies if you choose the wrong song. And I think anything past, I know anything I post like past 7 seconds, it's not going to get viewership, but I don't really care because I don't know, for some reason, I might have been in a mood where I'm like, I want to make it artsy, like you said, or whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah, part of it's just kind of like artistic expression sometimes, and others like it's great just to, like you say, have taken a break. And I kind of did from doing some things for a while as well. One, because I had nothing to post, but two, just because it's good to step away and be like, am I addicted to the sport because I love it, or am I addicted to trying to get out the next banger, right? And so
right.
it's, I like you said, it's cool to take those breaks and like really check and see. And
Yeah.
I've spent like at least 15 grand on medical bills because of scootering, and people would be like, you're fucking nuts for wanting to still ride. And the answer is, you're right, I am. And I know that, but I love it, and I love it too much. And there's nothing that can mentally fulfill that void with the rushes you get when you execute a banger. And whether it's by yourself with the video turned off or not, and if you're gonna, for whatever intention you have, we just all know when we execute that banger, if you're not writing for that feeling, then you're writing for the wrong reasons probably. And maybe I'm writing for the wrong reasons because I'm an addict and I'm addicted to that freaking adrenaline rush. But I love it, dude. I love it.
That's dope, man.
It's all for the passion,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
Major
doubt.
keys.
Sorry, I can talk a lot about scootering. Why? Because
good.
I never do, and because no one in my household gives a shit to listen to me talk about it except for my son. And haven't talked to my son about it much lately because he's been on the injured list, and I haven't wanted to rub it in. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can shorten
No,
up my answers if you'd like,
you're
but
good, man.
No,
I'm
you're
just
good.
gonna. I think, yeah. It's weird because I love the sport and I never really talked to about it. Because like, what am I going to do? Go to my company that's like, a small corporation and talk to these dudes about this sport I do on the side? The answer is no. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, you're good,
Anyways,
man. That's
what's up?
honestly, that is, I was gonna ask you a completely different question, but I'm gonna move on to this one now. What you said, you were doing shared custody, but I know you have like, is it a girlfriend or like a new wife now?
So I got a
Um,
fiance. She's a girl I knew from like middle school and high school. I got reacquainted with her. I saw her at at a donut shop. And I had my kid, she had hers, and I didn't see a ring on her hand, and I just had to go kind of see what was up,
yeah, yeah, that's
you know?
awesome, man. And what does she think about like you scootering? Is she hyped on it, or is it kind of like, because
She
my
rolls her
girlfriend
eyes.
sometimes, like she'll get a little annoyed about my my bong addiction. So
Well,
I could see that like I was just curious, like if your girl is into it or if like she's filming you or if it's a little
she's not,
sore.
so I had her try to film me when I was learning 360s, and I didn't land one and I rolled my ankle. And ever since then, I haven't had her film anything. So I only had her film one clip and that was it. Does she support it? She did at one point. She no longer does. And
Yeah.
it's because of after I tore my knee, she's like, I want to grow old with you, obviously, but I want you to be able to walk with me. And I respect that, but she's also got to respect my love for the sport, and that every now and then I'm going to grab my scooter when the motivation gets me, and I'm going to go, throw a, a front side Smith to a 50 down the kink, and hopefully try to whip off, because it's something I haven't done. I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And she's getting her hair done, and her daughter's at dance, and my son's with his mom. It's like, I got some time, so
Yeah.
there, and I'm impulsive, so sometimes I'm just gonna go impulsively throw down.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, that's
Right.
cool, man. That's cool that you have that boundary set at least, and I obviously hope the best for both of y'all.
Yeah, like
And it can,
I
continue to
don't
keep
think I'm
working,
gonna.
but it's good to
Yeah,
know that like, yeah, you're in it, bro. That's that's fucking dope.
I'm in it, and I told her I was absolutely gonna quit, but I don't. It's a lie. I told her it's a lie if I tell you that I'm never gonna get on a scooter again and like just do stuff every now and then, because I will.
Hmm.
And I started to take some scooters apart that I had built out in the garage, and was like, yeah, I'm breaking them down. I'm not really gonna ride. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I just started rebuilding scooters then, right?
Yeah.
And just building my next setups. Like, so it went from disassembling to reassembling,
Yeah. Yeah, you
right?
see them all taken apart right there. You're like, hold on, we may have something here.
Yeah, because
It's
I've got like 10
crazy.
sheets of grip in the basement. I've got like 3 different sets of wheels. I got 4 different sets of bars. It's like I'm just always thinking like, what's my next build going to be? But right now I'm just sticking with what I got. I've got what I need. So, yep.
I ride the same ass setup until it fucking shits the bed, literally.
That's fair. I was always trying to find the one, trying to get to the build that I felt like, and I'm not going to mention it. I'm not sponsored, no tout, no whatever, gives a shit. But the build I have now, and I don't care that I'm not sponsored. I never try to get sponsored, but I don't want to talk about brands that push them, because I don't think I should. But the setup I have now is perfect. The specs are perfect. I love the weight of it. I feel like I'm comfortable with executing whips off. I want to get to whipping two, right? Whipping two things. I haven't done that yet, and I want to. I need to slice my bars. They're a little too wide. I know my riding is very limited. My trick selection is limited. I want to add bar spins to the mix, and
Hmm.
so my bars are a little too wide right now. I think with the bar ends on there, they're about 23 and a half. I think I need to get those
Yeah.
down to about 22 and a half, maybe 22, so the bars don't get snagged on clothing, because I don't want to have any excuses when I'm throwing shit down. So, but
Yeah.
that's with I feel like with that width where they're at right now, sometimes it just gets caught in the shirt and shit. But I don't know. Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like where my bar height, I just feel like everything I have where it is now is I feel like I'm good to go for a minute. I don't need to get on another build.
You dialed in.
But
You got the sizes you like. Everything's good.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
Need
dude.
that
And
tech though.
yeah, and I know the deck I'm riding, the one that's the kind of the color of my shirt, it's built kind of like a soda can. And if it gets a little tap, it's going to get a dent. And it's only got so many pounds and slams before it's cooked. But
Hmm.
kind of got to, I know you ride Proto, right, Austin? Is that fair? Am I
Oh yeah,
wrong?
both of
Okay,
us.
so yeah,
Alien
so you
tech.
guys ride Proto. I think those are so badass. I love the design. Um, I try to throw just some casual whips and just general things on a setup that was 6.5, I want to say 23. And I mean, I'm older, dude. I don't have like, a lot big upper body. It was kind of tough to throw for me clean whips, because the setup's just a little heavier than what I can handle.
It's
But
definitely
they're
heavy.
they're built. They're built well.
That's
They're tanks.
definitely, you can't have it all. If it was
Yeah.
lightweight,
Yeah, no, it'd be
good
trash,
game,
dude.
good
It'd be
game,
over.
everyone else. But
Well, yeah, no, because
yeah,
those necks would bend, or the decks would,
Mhm.
been too quick and whatnot. So yeah, but I respect the design and everything that keeping the manufacturing in the United States. I represent, I love. Okay, so I didn't say I was going to talk about brands. I think my favorite, absolute favorite freaking clamp, and for a good reason, is the full knuckle. I think it's
Mhm.
durable as fuck. And there's no other, I think it's probably proprietary on design and patented by what is it, Andrew Broussard or whatever,
Mhm.
where you can screw the hex screw and then open up the clamp and
Yeah.
then easily slide out, your bars and easily take it off your fork. It's like, that is genius, dude. And no
Yeah.
one, if it's proprietary and it's patented, no one else can do that. And I have other brands and other clamps that are just like, I mean, I feel like I'm going to tear my other knee or break another something just trying to kick my deck off to get the bars off so I can make some adjustments.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's the little
high five,
things.
Andrew. Yeah,
Yeah.
high five. That was a good idea. But it
Hey,
is the little things.
Gotta do the
Yeah.
quarter trick.
True.
Thanks.
What's that?
I
I don't know
like
the quarter trick,
so like you take all the bolts out of your SES and then you
right?
screw like one in the opposite direction and like
Right?
slide a quarter in the gap and then you can tighten the bolt and it'll also stretch the clamp open.
Oh, that's genius. Wow. You need to like do a reel on that.
That,
Just like
I think
in,
it's
in
a good
case you
one. Yeah.
guys don't have
Nah, your
proto like
OG, your
me.
local OG will put
Yeah.
you onto that
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
It's
bro.
a,
In case you're not lucky like me and you don't have proto clamps, here's what you got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
Go viral, Will. Come on.
that's what you had to do on the protos like 8 years ago.
I know. That's what's,
But yeah. I don't know. I love them. And then
where it
I
happened.
like to not use a like a top cap, and I just feel like the proto clamps that I like the full knuckle. It's a lot of grab on the bar. It's a lot of grab on the fork. I've had fork damage from certain things. I've had bar damage from certain things, and yeah. Ever since I switched to proto, I got a black one, and then I got the teal one for the dude. How do you say it? Andre Cardenas. Andres
Chima,
Cardenas.
I think it's Chima.
Chima, dude. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't
you're
know.
good. You're good.
I don't know everybody's names. I feel bad, but that dude's cool. I
That's
like
cool.
his clamp, and I wanted to get one, so I got one.
Hell yeah.
It's got like the Aztec style like proto on it, right?
Yeah, it's got a cool like lasered out engraving design on the front. It's pretty sweet.
Well, let's see. We did an Instagram live. We asked the viewers if they had any questions for you. So we got like 15. Probably not gonna say them all, but
Let's
one.
I'd
Dope.
love to address those at the very end as well.
Yeah, we'll get into Phil's.
Right
Get
on.
into Phil's after these. Yeah, one homie said,
Absolutely.
"What's your favorite video part?"
Yo, so if he's asking about me, I don't have a video part. I've never been in a video. If he's asking about someone else's videos, I will say, and I gave this some honest thought as well. I truly don't spend too much time watching videos. My scooter TV is IG clips, and I follow some of the best, in my opinion, just like distributors and then media providers in the industry that share various clips. I've always been heavily inspired by those of iShack, Zach Rowan, I've Kai Saunders, Jack Douth, Juicy Carter, and then Mattis Nayrod, to name a few, Gagliano, and then that LCD, whatever his name is, just to name a few. But ultimately, I think I'm always still wowed by what Kai Saunders throws down. And every time a iShack clip comes out, I mean, that's inspiring as well. That dude is why I've had OCD on trying to personally, to me, perfect frontside 50s and frontside 50 whips, because that dude is so good at frontside and backside, 50 rail tricks. And to be able to do over 50s and whip to over 50s and then do something after that is just mind blowing. And so
Yeah.
It's a legend.
that's my short That's my short answer as possible. Trying to not be too exclusive, but inclusive. I don't want to have any people hate me, right?
Yeah.
But there's always gonna be haters. But
I'll
anyways,
say something for that. Isaac, you are the GOAT, and I have much love for you. You have probably some of the best front 50s, but your whip out is one of the worst. I hate to say it, but that man, let's catch that whip. Let's clean it up a little bit. That shit would get me a little more hyped. But he definitely likes God at 50s.
Yeah.
I'll give him
he
that.
is. And
I
He's-
feel like he
cleanliness,
just
the
doesn't care
cleanliness.
at the end of the rail. Like he does like some crazy 50 and just kind of like tosses the whip, like, fuck it. I already just did this shit. Fuck it, you know.
Yeah, but
It's raw.
I think everybody can agree. I mean, the cleanliness of Kai Saunders is insane. It's like
Yeah.
it's like
Night
you're
and
a
day
robot,
difference,
bro.
right?
It's
there between
actually
those two.
robotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's robotic.
It's
It's robotic.
robotic.
And so I'd say, you know, a kid, you know, what's my favorite video part? I don't have one, but I've watched probably more Kai videos than anything else. How's that?
Word.
There you go.
Yeah, and someone had asked kind of your fave rider, so I'm gonna assume like a bunch of those guys you named are kind of like your fave riders.
You know, I've got a lot of respect for a lot of riders in various categories, and I've always wanted to. It'd be a lie to say I didn't always want to ride as clean as Kai.
Right.
And people are like, "You're never gonna fucking do it," and I'm like, "You're probably right. You're probably right, and that's fair. But I at least want to try,
Right.
and you can't hate on me for trying, dude. And so if I can, what my next goal, besides adding more tricks to my bag of tricks, is when I do release things, I want them to be I want them to be on. I want to be clean because it's like
Fuck yeah.
it's more impactful, right? It's not like, oh, well, you just did it, you went through the motions, and I want it to be good because I'm a
Mastered.
perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist personally, so I want stuff to look good.
Nice. Well, it's dope, man. I respect that. Let's see. Someone asked if you'd ever hurt your knee. I feel like that may be satirical. But,
Funny. So that is why I can't ride as people are like, why are you so stiff? Because my knees are bad. I used to get injections in my knees before I tore my knee. So
okay.
if I stretched more before I rode, I might be able to land and have more of a bounce. But because my knees are so stiff when I land, it's more like and it looks dirty. And I'm really trying to like figure out what I need to do to like have more of a steeze because I want more of a steeze when I land. I don't want to look so rigid, and that bothers me personally. And I just want to clean that up.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it, bro. Start stretching. See if that does something,
No doubt.
That would be sick. Do you ride 24 or 30 wides on your
I
wheels?
never rode 24. I've surprisingly got a set of old school District 28s by I think they're 115 by 28 or 120 by 28. They're really by 30s. I have rode a couple pairs of 115 by 30s. I have a pair of those weird kind of, most of them call them those fugly orange and blue rivers that came out. I got a killer. I got a killer deal on those, so I copped those. But then I had a set of Aztec wheels that were 115 by 30s. But sometimes I bottomed out on certain things, so I've always kind of been safe with one. Yeah, what am I trying to say? 120? No, third by 30. What? 30s, 120 by 30s, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
120 by 30s. Sorry.
You're good, man. A lot of these other questions we'd kind of already like gotten into or discussed. This other one goes back to a scooter dad. This guy asks, do you have beef with sad scoot dad?
That I think that dude is got
I've
beef
never
with
heard
me.
of him personally.
Yeah, that's fair. So funny thing is that dude got some beef with me about opinion I had regarding some fucking clip regarding some story share regarding account growth. And he's like, you're in scootering for the wrong reasons, and why you have an account for your son, and you shouldn't try to be promoting your son in the sport and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm just like, whatever, dude. And I don't like to get engaged with beef with people I never even met before personally, right? So
Yeah.
I just, no offense, bro, but I unfollowed him and blocked him. I just don't need to deal with that shit. I don't need negativity in my life because I've already got enough from like previous shit of the past, right? So
Right.
then there was I was featured in some things. Dude made some bullshit comments. Danny Roberts reached out to me, asked me about it, and then I was just like, yeah, dude, this dude just has some negative beef with me. Essentially, yeah, did I sometimes get too caught up in going for bangers? Yeah, and maybe avoiding time with my son. It could appear that way, but when I was going for bangers, it was during my time the time I didn't have custody with my kid, and that's when I would advance and ride personally and individually, and I would only share stuff that was worth sharing if it was progressive, because I didn't want to I wanted to kind of share the story of like father son riding, but then I kind of started to realize I was letting some of my son's like personal and private stuff like go away. So, and I was like, so I kind of backed off. And if you look at my ThisDadScootz account, I haven't really posted anything on his shit for a minute. So I was the one that managed his account. I posted, I was obviously the one that made his clips. But do I have beef with Rad Sad Scoot Dad? No, man, dude's got beef with me. So
Real.
You ain't got time for it.
Drop a
I ain't got
L
time for
on
that.
him in the comments, chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ain't got
seems
time
like
for
a
that.
hater.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was about yeah. How much money have you spent on parts?
Thousands.
Where's Slam?
I've had many. I'll begin with one where I completely missed a rail and just fell right on the ground. Cracked at least, I think I cracked 5 ribs.
Damn.
Let's see. That one, that I still have that clip on the gram. I fractured wrist. Where's Slam though? God, I'll never forget when I over rotated and landed on the resi at Woodward, and the D-bars slammed right into my diaphragm. And I made a sound that made the entire place echo. And so I would say that might be the worst one. And I think that clip is on the gram as well, potentially. But yeah, whenever you do a backflip, if you over rotate, man, and those bars go right in your chest, it can be rough. It can be rough.
Never a fun one, man.
Never a fun one.
Definitely dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, because I've had to get stitches and stuff, but those aren't really associated with like hard slam. It's more like bad luck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. We could transition into Phil's top 5. Shout out that boy Phil.
Rolling into
Fucking
fills.
compiled a fire list for everyone. Yeah, number 1. What do you think the worst trend in scootering is?
on the park side, I dislike a ton of rewinds and fails until you get to the clip, and I feel like sometimes it can take at least 20 seconds, and that bothers me. On the street side, I really have always disliked the weird trend of at least 5 seconds of the pavement before you get to what you're seeing. And then after the trick, an additional 5 seconds of pavement. I don't know why you need to see the pavement. Let's see the tricks.
Okay. Those are good.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you honestly gave these thoughts. We've been like starting to DM these to people beforehand, and I feel like it is making a difference. So
Yeah, and it's I just I don't have any hate for like park side or street side. And when I was asked, I'm like, well, I feel like you guys have global recognition. This is gonna people all over the world are gonna hear my answer. So let's kind of give it a more broadened view.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't really think I have any criticism on, bad flatland trends. I mean, flatland is what it is. It's hard, it's complex,
That's
but
the bad part in itself. It's the
right,
flatland.
it's the flatland.
Go
So I
ahead.
mean,
I
I
got
have
a
respect
bad
for those
trend.
dudes. Yeah, I have respect for those
Sorry,
dudes, but
John Reyes.
yeah,
Guess we
but
won't ever get that interview.
yeah, I'd like to see more. That's all. That's all I'll say. Your
I don't
stuff, I
like it when
respect what
the
you do. I like seeing more. So people might say, I want to see more from you, that's Dad Scoots, and that's totally fair. I want to see more from myself. But there's only, so much you can watch on Flatland, I feel like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
enough said.
Yeah. 100%, man. Sorry to hate on Flatland, but yeah.
Well, I love you guys. You're great. You inspired me to do some things, but yeah, I love that. And I hate when I also hate when there's a weird, terrible trend when the people with the what was it, the IFS, with the stuff that was going on in Sydney. There's a bad trend about proclaiming all this negative clout, which in some essence, some of it might have been fair, and other essence, a lot of it probably wasn't. And I feel like for the sport to try to have a more positive outlook without looking at negative trends would be to try to have a more professional, cohesive um, address to the globe when there's going to be media present and the media is filming what's going to happen at these events, and you're allowing people to film kids that are just learning how to ride a scooter and saying this is what's going to happen at this global event,
Mhm.
rather
Yeah.
than videoing people that are potentially, ideally professionals doing their practice runs, right? So,
Yeah.
but just that was on one particular thing. I thought, I feel like it just would have been nice if the scootering world would have some more professional exposure. So another negative trend that I dislike is you can use whatever substances you want. That's fine. And if you want to go do a cannabis handle, do it. If you want to go do, I drink this, and consume these pills, do that handle too. But
Yeah.
I don't like that some even sponsored writers, and maybe that's part of their brand and it's cool, are just like huge advocates of, certain things that they're consuming within their posts. And just like, it's cool you do that. That's great. Let's talk about that on the side. Post positivity if you're with a company. And I feel like there's been some negative things that are trending that are just like maybe not so good for the youth, right? As a whole, we should say, as a whole.
Okay.
I
That's
go
a good
back and
point.
forth with that, honestly, man, because I do feel like
Fair.
back when I was a little younger, say 18, I was a lot more kind of leaning into that whole Dr. Terp or whatever,
Yeah.
posting a bunch of stuff, doing a bunch of
And
stuff. And
yeah,
now I'm
and
at
I
the
get that.
point
I
where it's
respect that.
like, like I could probably keep the handle, but I personally don't want to be like posting all that stuff all the time, like
Mhm.
maybe a quick snippet here and there or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, I feel like I definitely agree with what you're saying too, And I think it's cool that like Proto, they got me, they got Captain High, they got, like they're cool with people being themselves,
Yeah.
which
And I
is
don't hate on
something
that. I don't
that
hate
I
on
vibe
any
with too.
I
But
don't hate on any consumption, and everything that people do is personal, but I just feel like there's certain things that maybe could be separate, and that's all I'll say.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And I respect the, Dr. Terpenes and what those are intended for and what those
Yeah.
represent. But on the flip side, for most youth, you're not Dr. Cannabis. You're
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Point have cigarette billboards anymore, but you can have every other billboard now, right?
True. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
it is crazy. So,
Well, you know,
because I'm home from the STO, as you can imagine, there's always been Budweiser stuff around town, right?
yeah. Yeah.
But now there's Bud stuff around town, all
The
over.
Budweiser, man.
Yeah, the Budweiser, the Budweiser. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird kind of seesaw, because there's a lot of people that are like, this is my life and this is what I want the brand to be, and that's fine. But what do you want the sport to be? And how is that going to help the sport get into the Olympics if you ever want a true fucking shot?
Yeah.
Scootering, do you ever want to try to get in the Olympics? Do you? If so, how are you going to globally, cohesively come together to try to make it fucking happen? Because I don't know anybody that's actually trying to do it. I know I'm not doing it. I'm an old dude that likes to ride, and I just have shared my joy with riding on my handle. But is there anyone that's actually going to try to make the move to go from us seeing skateboarding at these badass skate parks, where we should also be seeing guys doing, scootering on the park side and on the street side? But the way that scootering is going today, you're not going to be in the fucking Olympics. Look what happened this past summer, and how are you going to change it?
Definitely a lot of room to grow still.
Yeah, and I want it to be in the Olympics. I really do, because I love the sport, right? I want people to find like, oh my God, okay, all right, now it makes sense, Kyle. This is the Olympic sport, blah, blah, blah. But anyway.
Damn. That was heavy. Let's transition into underrated rider to look for.
Yeah. Underrated rider to look for. I gave that some significant thought as well. General underrated rider to look for. I've got to give a shout out to a guy that has always been supportive in the community. General just rider. I think Van Boynoff. He led the street jam in the St. Louis. He's a cool ass dude, and he's a very good rider. Regarding the actual dads that ride, I feel like this guy named Merrick Crane, he's the one that actually truly inspired me with my eyes live at the skate park to say, all right, so dads do ride. This is actual thing. This is I found this dude before I even had ThisDadScootz handle. I was like, so dads actually fucking ride a scooter? And he's like, yeah, I've been doing this. And all these things that he could do, I was just mind blown. But his name's Merrick Crane, and his manis are incredible. His bar spins are so clean. He doesn't do much rail stuff, but he's just one of those real like laid back. I like to watch the flow type riders, right? You can throw some but yeah, Merrick Crane, underrated, significantly underrated scooter dad on a global level. And then I've always had significant appreciation for Van Boynoff. He's also the dude that helped teach me how to front side 50 whip that, and I'll never forget that day he taught me to do that. And there's also a guy there named Kobe Motley. Shout out to Kobe. Kobe helped me as well learn the front side 50 whip, which tees us up for one of those questions. What was probably my most memorable moment? One of them was definitely landing a front side 50 whip off of a flat rail, which I thought was pretty dope. Then I proceeded to do it off of a ledge within 10 minutes. I called it. I'm like, all right, dudes, I'm gonna get this. And I did it, I threw it, and it was mind blowing, but I sent it and I did it. But then also, I feel like, landing a backflip, at least at Woodward, and the style which I did in front of my son, to show him that, this is what your dad can do. It was just kind of like
bossed up.
Yeah.
You're just like, if I wanted anybody to see anything that I do cool, it's my son, and he saw it, and it was fucking dope. He never saw me land my first front side 50 whip, but eventually he saw it. And so whenever, it sucks that he's injured now, but you know, my most memorable moments really are just like riding with him and, you know, just having fun, man. Just bonding at the skate park with your son, and I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's such a cool thing to share. Just can't imagine like scootering with my father growing up would have been so cool. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
That
like
too. Yeah.
it's like it would be crazy.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, it's like, you know, I can take you to the trampoline parks, and you know, I can take you to video game places, and we can play Fortnite sometimes, and I'll learn how to
Oh
play
shit.
Fortnite
Y'all are
so we
playing
can.
Fort?
I learned how to
Hit
play
me up.
Fortnite for my son, dude. I learned. I'll send you my handle on the
Yeah.
DMs. But I learned how to play with my for my kids, so we did that a little bit. But yeah, scootering and getting out and about, and doing something besides like hitting up the driving range, or to go and trying to play a little bit of golf, or you know, taking him to all of those sporting events. It was just fun, man. It's like truly the most fun moments with my kid are like a lot of them are at the skate park. And
So
if I
sick.
had to make a diary right now, like the most fun times with my kid, like fuck, 90% of that diary would be at the skate park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
sick, bro. I hope
Yeah.
definitely one day my kid is like trying to go. So then I
Yeah,
could
and you know,
really
the
boss
dream,
up
the
on him too, be like, oh, check this shit out.
yeah, and I think that the I don't know if like I'm living the dream, because it was never like a dream I had prior to writing, but one thing I'm doing is like I'm kind of writing a dream with him of like this cool, like awesome, like not
Right.
your traditional sport bond that's like
Mhm.
only with us. Like I know your stepdad's not going to try to go and do this and try to beat me because
Hell
of a jealousy thing or this, that, and other things. Like this is
no.
you and I got this, dude. This is us.
Yeah.
Like this is our thing, and it's just yeah, people look at us like we're nuts because we get injured, but we still love it and we keep going back. And only the real
That's
writers
cool.
know.
So
You
he's
know,
excited for his comeback.
he is, and I don't want to like his. I don't want to tell his mom. I don't really want to talk too hard about it because, I mean, so I've spent 15 grand on like my medical bills approximately, right?
Mhm.
That's just like not counting a lot of other things. I already know what I've helped spend and contribute, so I could pay half to his mom for his leg break, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm very excited and hyped for the return, but I'm also very nervous too.
Yeah.
Just the parent part of me is very nervous. The more
Yeah.
like alter ego, this dad scoots mindset is like, let's fucking go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the parent side is like, I'm kind of nervous. I don't really know. Is the timing right? When should we go? You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
For sure.
because he's my dude. He's like my little. You know, we have you doc. You know, Doc Terp here. We got dogs. They're like our little.
Yeah.
They're our
Yeah.
buddies.
Yeah.
But like having a kid buddy that you have a good relationship with is like a dog
Dude.
times 1,000, right?
Mhm.
So
I got my fingers crossed that I have a son someday, bro. Like I
yeah.
already know that that's gonna be a just a such a dope like period of my life. So
Well, the
I'm
fiance
hyped
has a.
that y'all have
It's
that. You
it's cool, and
fucking
the fiance has a daughter, and I
smashing.
try to get her to do some skate park stuff, and she fell on her face at the pump track, and that ended
Ooh,
that deal. So it's all good. It's
Yeah.
fair.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
fair. That's a fair
Seen it
quit.
happen too frequently, bro. We got a
Yeah,
pump track. They get
yeah,
dropping like flies if they don't know what they're doing, man.
right. If I had a video on that thing and I posted it, it'd been one of those ones that like probably gets a million hits, and I just wouldn't want to do that to her.
Yeah.
You know, we're
That's a
not
little
doing that.
cold-blooded.
This girl
Yeah,
falls.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Merritt Crane. That dude's he's the actual dad that inspired me to like say I'm gonna take this to the next level past bunny hops. Okay. And then Van Boynoff. Um he's been a significant mentor, inspiration, reliable. When he says let's meet, we're gonna meet. He's there. Um always willing to provide feedback, support, critique, do this, do that, not try to do this. And not everybody's like that, dude. And he's like in his around like in his like low 20s. And so there's been a lot of other riders that are younger, but I don't want to hit them up. That's weird. And
Hmm.
yeah, I only communicate with all the dudes through IG. I don't have my personal anything. And but yeah, some dudes you say let's meet up, they be like, yeah, and then like cancel. It's kind of like, well, I'm gonna go ride anyway. But yeah, there's always like those dudes that it'll be there. And um I know on the scootering side, I feel like Van always would. He's a good dude. Sorry, that was another tangent. Where are we going
You're
next?
good, bro. We'll
I got
see.
I got Turt back here vaping. He's like, all right, this dude's got to shut up, move on. He's going too long. Cut this dude's tongue off.
Nah, man. We're having a good time.
That's part of the
Yeah,
pod.
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just definitely part of the pod. Part of my life, to be honest. But
yeah, and that's fair, dude. That's fair.
TenFour.
Like, kids don't smoke. Don't smoke. I started smoking when I was 15, quit when my son was the year he was born, then switched to vaping, and nicotine's the absolute devil. Now I, suck on these nicotine pods, and if there's anything you can do, kids, cut the ties. It'll save you tons of money and health. I mean, I genetically I've got some dental issues, and I recently had to get a tooth pulled, but part of me was thinking like, so when I was growing up, like if I wouldn't have chewed and I wouldn't have smoked, would I had these like 4 or 5 root canals and had to have get a tooth pulled and all that shit. So yeah, man. Anyways, that's the dad coming out in me. So be careful,
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, you never know, man.
You never know. You never
Proceed
know.
with caution.
Proceed with caution. Yep.
It's a good lesson to be learned.
Yeah, that's why we're in the classroom today, man.
We're in the classroom.
We had you to come on, just teach us some
Yeah.
game, show us
Yeah.
what's good.
This dad teaches
That
today.
teaches. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
He's
I
not
was young,
scooting.
dude, I'm so old. When we needed to get cigarettes, if your friend couldn't buy them, you went to the places or restaurants that had cigarette machines, and you put the dollars in there, and you pulled the stick out, and dispensed the pack of cigarettes. And when I was in college, we used to have promo people coming around giving out tobacco products at bars and stuff, or even around college campuses, and it's just not like that anymore.
That's crazy.
It is.
Cigarette machine.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and think about like just people you go to places, people give out free energy drinks. Well, back in the day when I was in college, people would be giving out free tobacco products, so free chew, and then free it'd be Philip Morris, so Camel reps, and then RJ Reynolds reps, so Camel Morris, or Camel, and then Philip Morris, so then Marlboro reps as well, right? And they use and they get on, they grab your info, give you your cell number, then you'd be getting coupons in the mail. And it was crazy. They just wanted to get the youth hooked so bad on tobacco. It was rough. It was rough. And then they're trying to come out with products for the e-cig. So you guys remember Blue? Do you remember the Blue e-cig? The first, okay, that was like the first stupid little, I'd say well-known brand of e-cig, and then kind of vaping kind of evolved into the mods with the battery and the metal pack, right? And it's just like no chip, so no fire, like no voltage, microchip to manage the voltage or the output. So just direct like battery, fire, coil, pre-made, whatever, and the vape clouds in it turn into the vape mods, right? And then the vape sticks, and now then they switched to Nick salt. And do you guys know why they switched to Nick salt?
Nah.
Okay, so traditional e-liquid gets you to about this high on a spectrum when you pack the punch. So no matter how much nicotine you get strength-wise, you're only getting to about this high of the nicotine effect to the brain. When you go to Nick salt, it's like super concentrated, and it's got like an additional molecule or derivative of a molecule. It allows the brain to get like this high of a Nick impact. So anyways, I never switched to Nick salt, but those things are
Fire.
it's fire. Apparently those things hit crazy, they say. But there's a huge, so anyway, so these devices that were meant to help people get off cigarettes are now, I mean, there's been what do you call it, a pandemic of youth vape consumers, like globally, right? And so now the thing is, how do we get these kids off and off of the nicotine? Excuse me. How do we get the kids off of the nicotine, off of the vaping? So, anyways, it's weird stuff. I used to be in the vape industry. I used to sell and represent a brand. That's how I know so much about it. But I used to be like a marketing manager and a business development person for an e-cig brand and then a vaping distributor. So that's kind of why I know what I do. I know too much about it.
Yeah.
That's interesting though.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, I was in it when people started making getting the coils, getting the Canthol wire, wrapping the coils around the screwdriver, getting a drill, putting at the end of like a doorknob, putting the Canthol wire in your drill and double wrapping it. Zoop. Now you got like a double layer coil stuff, and then making different twists and stuff. So yeah, it was an interesting industry for sure. I don't know if you guys ever been to a Vape Cloud Fest, but I went to one because I was at a Vape Expo in Chicago once, and there was a Cloud Fest, and it was kind of funny, to be honest with you.
It sounds
Are
great.
you chucking clouds with them?
It's just
No, I didn't, but it was funny.
dang.
There's
It
this
was
hilarious video I've seen at like maybe it was like the grand opening of a vape shop or something, but it's like everyone that was at that event is just like in front of the shop, and like they'll like blow a cloud out at one time, and it's just like so funny to me. It's
Right.
like all these guys are like they're rebuildable like vapes trying to just like put a fat cloud in the air.
The honorary cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids
Come
today
on.
don't even know how much work all the guys used to go through on the drip devices and everything. They have no idea. Nothing, just go
Oh,
buy
yeah.
a device
Every
with
few
10,000
hits.
puffs for 20
Yeah.
bucks and call it a day.
Yeah.
Right?
They'll never know the struggle of hitting that burnt coil.
Never. Oh my God, that taste, dude, that
That's
taste
true.
is like no other.
Woo, woo.
Awful.
Humble you real quick, almost like missing a 50.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
one and the
Yep.
same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see, man.
Absolutely.
I feel like we hit Phil. We got worst trend, most underrated writer, fave video. We did fave moment, right? That was that
Yeah.
front 50. And then
And then in general, like, what goes my mind, like landing that front 50, but just all the as a compilation all the time with my son at the park, for real.
Yeah.
And you can't just put that in one clip. That's hard, but yeah.
That's a good one.
yeah, it's keeping it real and raw.
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah, and it's weird like how to manage, like, if my kid does start to ride more, like how to like manage like putting stuff out there to maybe inspire like the father-son bond, but then also like how to protect some of his privacy. So that's why it's always just been like our alias, right? And
Mhm.
Right.
hopefully that only goes so far. People see it and know, but those who know need to know. I think I accidentally shared my first name on this thing, but I mean,
I didn't hear
I'm
it,
good.
so you're good.
Yeah, it's this dad. The
Yeah.
last name is
Yeah.
Scoots.
This dad's.
I remember you
yeah.
saying that, so yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm just pulling yanking everybody's chain.
Yeah.
but if you and I met, on the side on DM, I'll tell you my first name and stuff. But I feel like anonymity is kind of fun to an extent,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so if I ever wanted it to be about me, it would be my first and last name.
Hmm.
You guys, right?
Yeah. ThisDadScootz.
Yeah, but it's not. But it kind of is. It's
Should
weird.
legally change
It's weird
it.
living an alias. I know. Go to the social
Driver's
security
license,
office. Yo.
ThisDadScootz. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Have it on your
License
ID.
would.
plate is just like Scoots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole town knows.
Yeah.
And if
Man.
I accidentally created for some reason I thought it might be a good idea when I was first starting to create a Facebook handle. Don't look at Facebook. I need to delete that, but I have a feeling if I deleted the Facebook handle, then it would fuck up my IG account. So I've never touched it, but yeah, I never go to Facebook for ThisDadScootz. I also never really go to TikTok. Most of my energy and time is spent on IG, but I do have a TikTok handle I play with every now and then. But I think the TikTok scooter game is lame. I really do. I think on a general level, the quality scooter content is IG or YouTube.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like if everyone started moving to TikTok, it would change, but I feel like the majority of riders are just stuck with Instagram.
Fair.
Angel.
So, question, I don't really have an opinion either way. I think it's great when your phone's muted. What are your guys' thoughts on text on clips? So when people are like talking and there's audio, and do you guys like that? I mean, I know it kind of, some people, YouTubers this way, that's the only way to go. I don't YouTube if I don't have time for that shit. I'd have to pay somebody to do a YouTube at the level I'd want to do it, because I need a filmer, I would need a marketing person, and I need somebody to manage my handle and all the DMs, and then I need an editor, and then I would need a music guy that can pick cute stuff and not having, worry about copyright infringement on certain audio clips that I may use. So there's a lot that goes into it that I think about it as an adult. So that's why I've never done a YouTube thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really see a lot of like clips with like people talking over them unless it's like skateboarding, really. I don't see a lot of scootering like that. Is it like mostly park clips that you're seeing?
I've seen a few. I just, I'm just curious. Like I don't know if I particularly care for it too much, but I know it certainly helps on like YouTube short stuff. But yeah, I don't mess with YouTube shorts. I was just kind of curious what your guys' thoughts were on it.
I don't really see a problem with it. If it gets the views
It
for
doesn't.
spread
Yeah.
scootering to other people, I'd say it's a win.
Yeah,
It doesn't get in the way of the
tried it
clip.
on a recent clip, and I got inspiration from Sergey Dabarenko. I think that's how you say his last name. You guys know his handle, Dabarenko?
I'm not sure.
All right. Anyways, so I did a thing that was like, it was like one day or day one, and I did the text, and so like that actually caught off, and it is still getting quite a bit of views. So I think it helps. You just got to use it right, in the proper way. I won't use it on every clip, but I think it helped like every now and then. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Well, honestly, my dog keeps growling at me. So
Hey, let's
she
see your
probably
dog, dude.
needs
I'm
to
gonna
go
get my dog. You
outside.
gotta show me your dog. I gotta get my dog.
All right. Hold on.
Here's my dog.
oh,
Oh, that's dope, man.
this
My
dog
dog.
He's so
scoots.
furry. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's my little bear.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is Chloe. Love this dog. She's like a human. She'll sit in the lazy boy like a human.
Really? Like on her
She'll
back?
yeah, on her back. It's real funny.
That sounds
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's your dog. Yes. That's what's up, dude. That's what's up.
Dogs on the pod.
Yeah, dude. But let's see here. I think I'd be regretting it if I didn't say this. On the park side in St. Louis, there's a kid that I think is significantly underrated, and he's always been underrated. And I think he really could be something if he gave it something, and he has given it a lot. His name is Elijah Quest. I think he goes by Scoot Elijah. He's a park side guy. This kid can do so many. He does a backflip like it's just so natural, and I feel like backflips are essential to go to the next level in park stuff. And he's one of the only people in my area that actually does it. And so I feel like if that kid got the proper exposure, and if his parents wanted him to do it, and if he personally wanted to do it, he could definitely compete.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Always like a nice flowy backflip. Like looks smooth.
Yeah, and he can do, I don't know, people are gonna hate on me because I don't know the true term, and I don't care, but like, what do you call them? Like a flare? It's like a kind of backflip 180 thingy in a bowl. What do you call that?
Flare.
It's a flare.
Flare. Yeah. So
It's a
he
good
can
old
do
flip
these
air.
flares, and Now he can throw some whips in his back flips. It's pretty sick. So
It's
I
good
feel like
stuff.
that dude. Yeah. So you guys might know another guy that popped out of here. Or so one guy that popped out of here. Do you guys know Sammy Owens? Maybe or I can't. Maybe his name. I don't know his name. Sammy
Uh,
something. That kid's crazy. He's like older. He's in college. Dude can just.
mhm.
He's an insane park rider for sure.
I'm just bad at keeping up with those park kids unless they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
local.
Yeah. So
There's so many kids everywhere.
but but yeah, so there's like also this, it's kind of funny. There's like this scooter club of kids in the St. Louis area. They have a certain handle, and I jokingly, well, one time I did it seriously, and the most recent time I did it jokingly, asked them if I could join their club. And the funny thing is of course they're not going to respond. And two, why the fuck would they want a dad in their scooter club? Right? It's just not going to happen. But so anyways, would I ever be they do some featured videos. They've had a couple of featured videos. They do some cool stuff. I there's a lot of guys in St. Louis that have been very, very supportive, and I just want to thank all of them. There's also been a lot of people globally, but yeah, when you never know like the true support you got until like something bad happens, right? And when my kid
Mhm.
broke my leg, like dudes like that, they just like helped and they just like ran and they like, I mean, my kid was freaking out. His leg was to the side like this, or like camera like that, and people just really stepped up at the St. Louis Street Jam. So I got to give a shout to like all the riders from the Midwest. There's a lot of good out there, and and I just can't thank a lot of people enough in the community. Yeah, for real. If
Mhm.
you guys are into clothing and art, you got to check out this dude.
Caked up.
I'll keep his real handle silent. He's a great artist. It's at Caked Up 314. Check him out.
Okay.
I for
Yeah, I
real.
got some
If
shit from him.
you did,
In
that's what's
Chicago.
up.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
the homie.
yes, dude.
Yeah. I tried to
He's
pay him and he literally was like, nah, you just like take this shit. And
yeah,
so for sure, shout him out. He's dope. He's just trying
he
to get
is
his shit
Mhm.
so
out
dope.
there.
Caked Up 314. You gotta check him out.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's cool as fuck. He's just a down to earth, cool
Super
human.
chill. Raw
Yeah.
artist.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
yeah. You got anything else you want to say? Any other shout outs you want to give? Or I've been trying to keep these about an hour and a half, honestly.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. You know, I don't necessarily have any shouts. I just thank everybody enough or tons for the support, and I think it'd be cool to see scootering appeal to more of the masses because right now I feel like their only marketing plans are towards teenagers. And if you look at the majority of my followers and demographics, they're older than that spectrum that they're targeting. And if
Mhm.
they want to sustain the sport and get people that actually have the money to buy another $750 complete, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They need to target those people that are flipping it and have the money to buy more of those products. So
Mhm.
I love that since I've started, there's been an effort to by many manufacturers to add parts that are bigger, decks that are bigger, and bars that are taller and wider for broader range older riders. So I feel like it's
Mhm.
a good start. But yeah, and it's not like asking for sponsorships, dude. I don't want a fucking sponsorship. I don't need a sponsorship. I can without a sponsorship, I don't have to post if I don't want to. I don't have to write a specific brand and promote it if I don't want to. Now, would it be cool to be sponsored? Sure, there's pros and cons, but I'm asking for support and a good idea and ideas from even if manufacturers are still listening to this fucking podcast that's been going on for 100 hour and 45 minutes. What can you do to help target more dads and people from 20 up, right?
Mhm.
What because right now, you're there's not doing much. Now they're making bigger parts, but I think there'd be something cool. It'd be cool if some, you know, some of the top manufacturers would just actually get together and talk and like, what are we going to do? How can we get together and help this industry? How can we help each other? Not how can we tell you who's the best person to send all of our parts offshore and have them all outsourced and manufactured out of our, primary country, which we live in, for cheaper and less and make a bigger profit.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That helps keep your company going and afloat. You need profit and you need revenue. But how can you keep the older riders going? So that's all. That's all, man. I'm sorry. That was a long
You're
answer,
good.
but
You're
I'm just
good,
super
That
bro.
was good.
passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just super passionate for the sport.
Passion is key.
It's just really weird how much I love it. I grew up playing okay, so at one point I was a low key country club golf pro, and I played against area pros in certain events and competed anywhere from so I started as a youth at amateur events and then played at low key local pro stuff. Not so a guy that would teach lessons, operate a golf shop, and then play competitively. Not a guy that his job was to play competitive golf. So I loved it. I loved golf. It was part of my life. But it was lacking something, and scootering fills so many. It just makes you. It kind of it kind of made me feel a different way. I just did something that was hard, truly hard, and I put my body on the line and I did it well, right? So I don't know.
The risk to reward.
The risk to reward. You can risk to reward in the game of golf and hockey, football, baseball, whatever sport that's other than scootering. But the action sports where you risk it and really get the reward, it's just there's a feeling that's nothing like it, dude. Nothing like it.
100%.
It's a more personalized reward than say winning a hockey game with your team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was just me. I just did that.
Yeah, and I don't like to have any beef with anybody. I try to keep all my drama to a minimum. So yeah, as far as that one dude you mentioned or asked about, I tried to squash the beef. I reached out. I said, "You want to squash it?" And this, that, and the other thing. Never got a response, so I killed it, unfollowed, blocked, and moved on, man. Right.
That's all you can do.
Right. I'm sorry your feelings got hurt, brother. I am sorry.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but was there any other weird random questions from a person or what? I mean, I know you said your things usually go an hour and a half. I actually have no commitments, so if there's any one extra weird random ass question, I'd be happy to answer it. If not, it's been fucking super real. I can't thank you enough. I still don't know why you wanted to have me on this podcast, but I have extreme gratitude that you had me on here, and I felt like this time in my life was a good time to accept the invite because, like I said, I got a positive outlook on life and the sport, and I'm past significant injuries, and I think I got a lot of ideas for what I want to do. Like I said, how I want to progress, and I feel like going forward, I'm going to just try to be smarter and execute those things at a more safe level, and so a lot of the injuries I sustained, maybe I shouldn't have gone for things I went for, but if I didn't go for those things, I wouldn't be the person who I was, and my riding wouldn't be where it's at today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta learn from it.
Yeah.
Right?
Take the lessons and the losses.
I mean, was it worth it? I can, if I were to die tonight, I don't think I will. God, I hope I don't, but I can go to sleep knowing I tried something that I thought was super fucking cool. I was shitty at it at first and I expected to be, but I got better and I was able to start doing things that I saw others doing and it felt good.
Right.
So if, that says anything for you and what's, maybe this sport can do for you, it gets your mind out of the gutter, man. It helped me stay out of dark places, process a lot of bad stuff, process some good things, and there's nothing like it.
It's like that Neil Armstrong quote, it's not what what your scooter can do for you. It's what you can do for your scooter.
Right.
So,
And, at one point I thought like I created this account to inspire. At this point, I don't know its sole purpose, but um, I just, my handle is pretty accurate. If you follow this
Mhm.
account, you're either going to hate it or love it. I love scooters and scootering. That's about it. Right. Because I don't, I tried to like have it be rated G or PG, and that wasn't totally me. That was kind of boring. So I've crossed some lines with song choices, lyric selection. I specifically select lyric choices on every song and clip I put out, and why I put them there. I specifically have beats drop when I land so it looks right, and
Mhm.
I try to convey an emotion and a feeling that I had when I did something, and I hope that maybe others can maybe see that and say, I want to do that. I didn't think I could. I was too old or too young, or I was too scared. If this guy can do it, well, shit, I need to try it, and maybe I can do it and have that feeling too. So,
Mhm.
yeah, would it be safe to eliminate and edit a clip and at the very end, after I land it, stop it? Sure, but at the same sense, when you know I land something and I'm like, holy shit, or what the fuck, I can't believe I just landed. Like that's raw. That's like the real emotion. So sometimes you got to leave that shit in there.
Exactly. The celebration.
You
Yeah.
got to.
And I still, you got to, you got to. So are we going to be able to ride together one day?
Hell
Dude, I
yeah.
hope so. If the
All
St.
right.
Louis guys didn't shit talk this Texas street jam, I'd be there. I just I don't know if
I
I'll
heard
be
about a
out
little
there.
ruffles of feathers with that. I'm sorry about that. That was, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I heard
Yeah,
about a little
I
bit
don't
of,
know what that was about at all, but it's okay, man.
Yeah. No hard
Hopefully,
feelings.
hopefully, we are able to ride at some point because I think that would be sick.
it would be sick. That would be sick. Um,
But yeah, to
yeah,
kind of tie it back a little bit and just say like I kind of had you on here just because I thought it would be interesting. You were someone I followed, and I have
thank
a
you.
whole list of people just that I who I would like to do a podcast with, and you were one of them. So just
Well, I
kind of like
appreciate
started
that.
shooting shots, and some of them panned out, some of them are still panning out, and it's like I don't
Right.
know, but
Here's
yeah,
how old I
so.
am, folks. Here's how old I am.
Woo.
So,
Hell yeah, that's
yeah.
a scooter love, baby.
Yeah. Just
Well,
different
yeah,
perspectives too. Everyone has a
Yeah,
different angle on the sport.
100%. You know?
I think that, it helps that I'm not sponsored because I have like unbiased opinions, right? And
Yeah.
I think that it helps that maybe I came into it at the time that I did because I have a perspective of it like post of COVID and post COVID, right? So I didn't get into this sport before COVID. COVID helped give me time to do the sport. So yeah, I just have a kind of a perspective from that time frame forward, and I don't know, I don't know, but yeah, I have an immense amount of gratitude. I can't thank you enough. The legends you have on here and on your show. I don't feel like I'm definitely not in that caliber, that class, but I have extreme gratitude that you thought enough of me to have me be on this show.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it was a pleasure, bro.
Yeah.
I think this went
It
well
was a good
too.
night. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
It
people
was
will
good.
enjoy listening to this one and hopefully gain something from it. So
I hope so. And I
made it
just try
this
to be
far.
authentic and keep it real and never try to be something I'm not. And um, I like to, do a trick and then maybe talk about it rather than talk about it and then do it. So I think
As
the
it
only
should
thing
be.
as it should be, and I think I have one promise to myself, and my next one I absolutely want to get is a Predator whip.
Oh
I
yeah.
almost had it in the bag. Um, I was super close to it pre knee injury. I've been doing some practice on it, and I mean, essentially all it is hop, land backside 50, go for a second, get comfortable, hop to the front side 50, cock the angle a little bit, hook the front side, get comfortable in the slide, throw the whip. And that's all it
Mhm.
is.
That's
So
all it is.
the risk is slipping, yes, and I have slipped and it caused me to get stitches, but I can't, my mind can't move on until I get it, and I'm gonna get it. So that's,
Yeah.
if
You
I'm
got
gonna
it.
call out, if I'm gonna call any trick out, I have to say that I'll get that before I'll heel whip. I'll get that before I'll get better at bar spins and casually throw those. I'll get that before I'll, throw a backflip to pavement. But I feel like that's the next one that's on the radar, and it just takes the proper mindset. And I've had this vision of it and been dreaming about it, and it's like literally I'll dream about it, or I'll wake up, or I'll be exercising, I'll be running, I'll be driving to work, I'll just be thinking about hot backside, hot front side, throw the whip, hot
Mhm.
backside, hot. It's just like, so
Yeah,
there's like this one, and I want to do it on a round reel. I feel like throwing predators on flat bar is weird. So yeah, I feel like
definitely.
in order, you got to catch the hook on the round, and it's just a matter of doing a fucking hop. And there's a lot of respect to the trick. It's scary. There's a lot of risk, and but it's not. But when you think about it, it's actually not that difficult if you just put your mind to it. It's hopping a backside, it's hooking a front, and it's throwing a whip. I've also done them throwing a front side first and then doing a backside. Now it's kind of weird, but I'll do those again once I learn heel whip, because then that'll be my other opposite way to throw the trick,
Yeah,
right?
feel about.
Yeah. So I think once I can do heels and bars, and I'd really like to get better at manning. That would be great. There's been a trend about nose mannies on the street side. Those are super difficult, and I don't know if I've got enough in my dental savings account to prepare for those. But nose mannies are sick.
I feel like
They're very
that's how I
sick.
feel about fakie nose. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit my teeth.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I can nose manny for like a fraction, or I can purposely nose manny like getting ready to go into like a bowl, and but to like nose manny on a box and then just how, dude?
Mhm.
How?
The jump on still sketch sometimes.
Maybe you know what? Maybe if I would have rode my fucking pogo stick, I could do it,
Right,
right?
right. But you won the
I,
contest and you never
yes,
got it.
yeah,
So
but I haven't had a chance to run a pogo stick, therefore my nose manny balance is off. Right?
that's sick.
What are some dream tricks you guys got in the box? You've asked me all these questions. I'm going to ask you questions for the next 2 minutes, because then that'll be 2 hours. You'd be like, fuck this, I'm done.
Man,
I don't
I
know.
have a whole list of tricks that I want to do somewhere, to be
Yeah,
honest. And I feel like the stupidest one I have is a nose manual front scoop.
sick.
That's probably one
Yeah,
that I'll never do, but it's like, man, it would be sick.
So are your
that would be
neon
sick.
green bars. Your
It'd
neon
be
green
sick.
bars are sick, by
Yeah,
the way.
thank you. Shout
Yeah,
out to Andrew.
So
yeah, those are
sick.
sick.
I need a new pair. I was looking at them the other day. Them shits are
Yeah,
thrashed up.
they're a little
Been
beat,
riding them
huh?
for like 3 years.
You need to ask him to laser etch in Dr. Terp right in the crossbar, right next to
May
Proto.
have to. May have to. I got to work on an edit. And then I
Yeah,
low key.
Gotta get
Then I low
active.
key am gonna be like Andrew. What do we
right.
think?
Sick wheel.
That'd be sick.
What about you, Mr. Paxton?
I'm
What's your
actually
dream
not
next
Mr.
one?
Paxton today. I'm
Oh, I'm
Mr.
sorry. What's your
Will.
actual name?
Will, sorry.
Oh,
I'm
right on, brother. I'm
I'm
sorry,
subbing
Will.
in. No, you're
All
100%
right, Will.
okay. It says
I'm
Paxton on the
sorry, Will.
screen.
It does say Paxton. See, you're trying to fuck me up, dude.
Yeah, a little trickery, but I don't know. Like
Coming for blood.
a whip nose manual would be sick. I've been doing a lot of nosies
Yes,
lately, but tricking is just so unfeasible. It's just ridiculous.
absolutely. Kind of like a lot of juicy grinds, right? You
Yeah.
just feel like they're unfeasible. But if there's any grind I wanted to ever do like Juicy, or felt like I could do, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but it's the one where you hop up and you go on top of a little post and you do a 360 and then
Yeah.
do
Ooh,
Like
whatever you feel
yeah,
like
yeah. The
the
out of a,
novice
novice
spin.
spin.
yeah,
Yeah. It's like
yeah, it's just so
Those are
mind-boggling.
crazy. Those
You
are
certainly
sick.
can't do it on a mini tilt decks except for a couple of their flat bottoms. You gotta have a flat bottom deck, right? So I
yeah.
feel like certain decks are key for that, but I feel like if it was trying to do it on a tilt with a notch out on the bottom, they just kind of mess it up. But maybe I'm wrong.
I would think you
Um,
need a flat
yeah,
bottom.
I would think the flat as
Maybe
well.
I'm wrong. Hey, it's okay. See, it's all right. It shows some of my ignorance with the sport. That's all right. I'm okay with that. I know I don't know a lot about it, but I know I love it, and that's all that matters.
I'm not doing that trick, so
Yeah.
Definitely not.
yeah.
So, so teach me real quick. So, what are you guys involved in with the industry? So, I know so you said you're at Proto, you said you're at Proto. What else do you guys do within the industry besides the show?
I just do this and scooter for
Right on.
fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I have like 3 sponsors, and I wouldn't really say I even like do them. I
Right on.
post clips. I talk to Andrew on the phone, uh, here and there, at least probably like once every month or two.
Right.
Um, Jared, I'll talk to about the same. Um, but I just kind of like talk to the owners of the brands that sponsor me, and then run this when I can and get the opportunity to have like a guest that we're interested in.
Right
Yeah.
on.
And just really writing. I feel like I've only contributed like just my writing to anything. I don't like
Sure.
film or edit or do too much, but yeah,
Fair.
I feel like at the end of the day, it's just about if everyone rode, then everyone would need to buy things. I don't think
Hmm.
necessarily a lot of the stuff we do is necessary, but it
Right.
makes it fun, it makes it
Mhm.
interesting, so
Right.
it brings value. But yeah,
Right
that's
on, man.
pretty much it. Yeah, I would say scootering and trying to film this podcast.
Well, I wish I could ride more, but I'm gonna try to get out there a little bit here and there. Don't tell my fiance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's dope,
um,
man.
my family's kind of tired of all the injuries too, but it's not their body; it's mine. You only have one
Yeah,
life.
Yeah.
yeah.
You have one life. So, all you kids that are younger right now, I call you kids, but essentially, younger adults, pursue what you can pursue at 100% until it doesn't work out, and don't be afraid to do it. So if doing the scootering thing and doing the sponsorships and doing the YouTube is what you love and what you want to do, and you never see yourself in a corporate office being a monkey,
Mhm.
do it. Right. All
Yeah.
right, do it. You have one chance, you have one youth, you have one childhood, you have one young
Mhm.
adulthood, you have a small bracket before heavy responsibilities start to kick in. So if this is what you want to do, you know do it, and don't be go all in, and it might pay off. You might be making bank on YouTube soon, but if
Mhm.
you're not successful doing it, it's a waste of time. So unless you're willing to do it and commit 100% and do everything you need to do, look into all the hashtags, look into all the followers you have to get paid for dropping a reel. Does anybody even know on IG?
They took that away.
Oh, they
I
did.
used to get I used to get like $100 a month or so from
Right on.
posting, but
Yeah, I would never did it for that, but it would be cool to get money for that. But anyway, it's not
that
good.
was the
I didn't.
only reason I was dropping Insta clips those months,
Yeah,
honestly. I was like, yeah. It's like, ooh, $300. I'm gonna definitely get a clip. Because I don't post that much on Instagram. I've read the same locals, like the same skate parks my whole riding career. So
right.
like that's why I stopped going on Instagram too. It's like I just got so over riding these parks that now it's
Sure.
like a little more refreshing when I do go scooter because I'm not so like surrounded and I'm not watching it as much. Like it just feels
Mhm.
like more of like a newer thing, something I'm a little more like rejuvenated about. So
And for me, to what that I do to help that is I always have I have multiple goals when I go ride, but I always try to like do something different and just try to slightly
oh
go
yeah.
and expand outside my box so that like I can eliminate some of that boredom. Like I've been at the same thing, I've done the same line, I've done these same tricks, but like try to add to it or add different additional like mix to the combo that helps. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna do my best to not try to post anything that people have already seen, and really try to anything I do post. I'm not going to post much, but I want it to be something I'm truly proud of, and that is different than what everything has been. Because there's only so many times people want to see your trick selection, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you want to go do that skate park and make the clips. But yeah, I feel you. I'm going to try to do, hit up some new parks that I haven't filmed at, and I haven't ridden at, that are here in my local, and see what happens.
Yeah.
I got some rails I've taken pictures of when I've driven past there while I'm at work. I stopped at the skate park, and in between appointments, I'm like, oh my God, this is the one I've always heard of. This is the one that the local legends talk about. I'm definitely coming back. And I took pictures, and I already start, having things in my mind of like what I'm going to do at each different spot. And yeah, so I feel you. Try to get out, try to switch it up, Terp. Try to go to different places. You don't want to get bored in the sport that your life is built around, right?
No, I just started riding street, I was like, dude, I'm gonna just go out and like try and ride things that I really have never rode, or things that I have to find. So then when I find it and I look at it and get there, it's like, oh, like it gets me hyped to ride that
Right.
place.
Fair.
And like that's
Yeah,
when I
I got
start
it.
having those ideas popped in and start getting hyped. It's like, oh, because for me, it's hard to go to the same skate park and like try something different. Like I feel like for so long, every time I went to any skate park, I'm learning a new trick before I leave.
Right.
That was my goal. And now it's like almost the opposite of what you were saying. Was like I've been trying to just find enjoyment in the things I've done 1,000 times and just get
Right.
back out there and do them again and keep them locked, because yeah, without that, I can only ride street once a week, or if I'm lucky. So
That's fair.
just try and keep it fresh, do what I can. And I'll never like not scooter, but there's periods
Right.
in my life where I'm like, probably this Saturday, like I'll chill, or like, play
Yeah.
some Fortnite myself, or do something. But
Right.
yeah, we'll see what's up. We're all in it for the long haul, the three of us. So well, I'll be excited to see that Predator and see those rail clips whenever they come, man.
I just feel comfortable saying like the Predator is coming because it is, and I know I'm 100% capable of doing it. And I've seen a couple clips of some people that you wouldn't think are capable of doing it fully execute it and do it quite well. And I'm like, well, if those motherfuckers can do it, I can do it too. And
Yeah.
that's where I seek some. Hey, there he goes. Bong sesh. Bong sesh. So, but yeah. Yeah. So
Predator's coming, baby.
It's coming.
it is. It is. I know, I feel comfortable saying it. I really do.
Fuck yeah. Well, yeah, stay tuned with ThisDadScootz on Instagram. See that Predator when it comes along. I think that's a good point to honestly wrap it up. I definitely got to take the dog out at this point. She still has been whining at me.
Fair. I could talk your arm off, man.
Yeah,
I'm
no, you're
I'm
good, bro.
I'm professionally in sales for a reason. I get paid to talk to people, right? I get paid to talk, to make phone calls, to send emails, to close deals, to find
Yeah.
solutions to all their problems in their business that I can help out with. And so I can talk all day, dude.
Yeah.
So
You need to get together
years
with my roommate Josh. Y'all would go crazy.
Yeah.
so
Y'all would
like
go
so like
Yeah.
years from now, if you ever wanted to do another one and you had a dry spout where no one wanted to talk,
Oh
we
yeah.
could
Right.
redo this again. But
Yeah,
no one wants to
Definitely.
hear me at the same time in 1 year. So
for sure.
anyway,
Yeah,
I
dude.
respect that.
There's some things where there's a bunch of guests where I think we're gonna circle back on a lot of them one day. We're just trying to
Sure.
get some things going, and then yeah, we got to at least hit 104 episodes. So who knows what'll happen about 80 or 90. We'll be like, shit,
Dude, at
there's
your
nobody
pace,
new.
at your pace, I'd have thought you've been, aiming for 420 episodes, brother.
I mean, who
But
knows, dude? Who knows? We're gonna need to be redoing podcasts at that point, man.
hey, so do you have a tattoo of your logo yet?
I do.
Yeah,
We'll insert it. We'll
right
insert the
on.
photo. Me and Paxton got matching ones. One
That's
red and
awesome,
one
dude.
green.
Good for you.
Yeah, we're in it, bro. We're getting to at least 104 episodes. For those that's still listening, you
That's
still
so
got like
dope.
60 more episodes coming.
Right on,
And
man.
there's some people I'm hyped on that are coming on. I'm not gonna say who, but there's
Hey,
some shit. We're just getting started for sure.
and now that it makes me think about something, since I've been able to talk to you this fucking long, which is surprising. Um, if you ever need a fill-in guest to ask questions, give that some
Dope.
thought.
Yeah.
Just give it some
Get
thought.
this dad in here. That would be crazy.
It'd be kind of funny to ask some dudes some things like, "Hey, why'd you do that?" or just
Yeah,
what
for
up?
sure.
Kind of figure out their story as well.
Definitely be sick.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
And I can, if you were ever interested, I could send you a list of a couple of people I'm connected with that you might, or you can just look at my followers and then see if you think it'd be a good idea for me to be on a panel with them, because I would absolutely love it, dude.
Hell yeah.
If you ever needed someone to ask questions, like, man, I don't really want to ask questions for a fucking hour. Can maybe we ask this guy who wants, can talk nonstop?
Yeah.
He wants to
Yeah.
ask some questions too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I had no intention of saying that when we got on this call, brother, but just came to mind.
Yeah.
You never know unless you ask.
Yeah,
Hell
we
yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll keep it in mind for
So,
sure. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
I think that'd be funny to do
I know it'd be
here and there,
volunteered, but
Yeah. Hey, I mean, shit.
absolutely.
Oh, none of this is paid. We'd be doing all this for free. I gotta trade weed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
None
trade
of
Will. I
paid.
mean, yeah. Yeah.
Got a side hustle over here.
Yeah.
No, just
Yeah.
kidding. My hustle is legal. I'm professionally in sales. I sell legal stuff.
Hustling.
So
Yeah.
I try.
yeah.
You got to pay the bills. You got to always think of the family, and you always got to provide.
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
that's another thing. If I'm not, if I get injured and I'm down, it kind of puts some things in jeopardy financially for the family. So I just always got to be cognizant of that. Ride that fine line of catching that next adrenaline rush and taking that risk for the reward, right?
Oh yeah. 100%.
100%.
But
Like,
anywho,
Yes, sir.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's a good learning
let's
note to
wrap
leave
that
off
one
of.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
I'm at
having you on.
1%
sir.
too now.
The
So
girls are, yeah, I appreciate it too. My family's coming home, so good time to wrap it up.
Word.
Here she is.
Oh.
All right. All right. Do you want to come and show face? Here's the stepdaughter figure. This is my fiance's daughter. But anyways,
Oh yeah.
all right, dude.
This daughter
Hell yeah.
Scoots.
ThisDadScootz.
Take it easy, man.
Daughter-
Take it easy,
yeah,
man.
you guys
Thank you
too.
for coming on. Thank y'all
got
for
it.
listening, and we'll have them back. Don't worry.